then it took a year. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna show you the trailer for it. So I'm like a high note. So, I'm talking about the statistics now. I didn't actually get the game released in time, but I did release a demo of it, and it got like 100 downloads and also a 5-star review. And then also somebody made a YouTube video of them playing my game without my knowledge. That was pretty cool. Here's me just making like the simple scene setup. I'm just doing the play setup. And then I added some code for jump. Thing, like jump up and down.
A little bit louder.
My player made these, my brother made these hand models, and then I modeled like this front part of it, and added some swords to it. Then I modeled a bullet. And then you can see I got the sword coming out of the blade. It's really long. Like the way I structured my input system was kind of dumb, where I just had one script for it that contained all the data. So then if you wanted to like read from the script and you were going to do it for both the left hand and the right hand, you would have to copy and paste the code but read for the, right hand instead of the left hand. It ended up being pretty long. I made it so that you could slice things with the swords, not like just like a plug-in for Unity and then I put it in like a script. Then I got these enemies, and I added a script for them to basically just squeeze through random spot and never play it and shoot. Just code for that. It basically just has like simple logic, so like it picks the minimum height it can be, maximum height, the delay it can do before it moves, the maximum delay it can do before it moves, the time it takes to move, the bullet damage, the bullet speed. And then, yeah, it basically just checks if the can time is, equal to the time when it should move. And then it picks a random spot on the player and starts moving to it. And then it starts this coroutine that, just fires it. And then I made the enemy sliceable, which was really easy. Just had to set the ball to is sliceable to true on them. And then I added this spider boss. I got a model of the spider. I added some particle effects. I separated the legs in like a program called Blender so that I could animate it, and also so that the player I could have it so that they could fall off. So you can see, it jumps after the player trying to like stomp on them. And then you can slice off like one of its legs. And then if you slice off all the legs, it dies. And then I added slow motion, because like, that's just cool. It's just so cool. And then I added these traits, which let me just tell you, you see how when you cut it, this part like slices all evenly? That was such a pain. Originally I had like text just as a child of it, which means like it'll just inherit, like it'll copy what the parent does. So if the parent gets destroyed, it'll also get destroyed. And the way the slicing system works is it destroys the object, then makes two new objects pretending to be the original object, but sliced in half. So then the text would just disappear. So then I put in Blender, and I tried to just add the text to the model, but text is so complex, so it ended up having so many vertices. And then the slicing system, you would slice it, and the game would pause. We're trying to calculate how to slice it, and in the end, I just stopped. I gave up on the text, and I instead just cut out like a outline of the sword and placed that in there. And then you can see you can just shoot out your blade now because you have an extra one. And then I added these explosive barrels. Yeah, you smack them and they go boom boom. Then I added a whole lot of enemies. Yeah. So yeah, these are just like the basic enemies. The way the wave system works is it has these enemies, then it has more complex enemies that it doesn't. There's a boss, there's a spider boss, that's another, that's like a special mini boss, boss. These are all phases of the same boss. You have that guy who shoots lasers, that guy has bombs, that guy shoots a flamethrower, and that guy also shoots bombs. Then I made the map. I got that green model from one of my earlier games and put it in there. I also got like these models of buildings, and then I used Unity's terrain system to, you know, make the ground. And then I made the main menu. So yeah, you can see I added an upstairs and added some particle effects to have like a tractor beam, and it does, you know, pull the player up. And then this is kind of like a dojo area. Like this guy, if you come in range, he'll shoot bullets at you, so you can practice like slicing them. And then you can go through the door. And I added settings in there, just some really basic ones. And then here's me actually playing the game. So you can see this is how you start the game, which I think is pretty neat. You just you jump off a really far thing. Yeah. And then you jump into the planet. Yeah. The atmosphere effect was really hard to do. I had to mess around a bunch with like the fog settings in my game engine to get it to work correctly. And then also use like special shaders. But anyway, then it loads you into the actual game. So then I added the wave system for it. You can see it spawns like those barrels on the ground, and it lines them to the terrain. Oh yeah, and then on wave 21, I wanted, basically the game was getting repetitive, so I wanted to add, like, my mentor suggested that I add like a new element of gameplay. So I was thinking new map with parkour elements in it. And the way I got to it was doing an earthquake, which, I mean, this was also a massive pain to do because, as I said before, the ground was just one object. It was just terrain. But in order to move it, you have to separate it into two objects. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll go into Blender, and I'll export it and just separate it. But then the problem is Unity has a custom system where, like, if you get close to the terrain, it'll render that part, like, with higher vertices, and then the rest that you can't see as well with lower vertices. You can't really do that in Blender. So it didn't really work out. Instead, I had to copy the terrain, delete half of it, and then it took me a while to figure this out. But there's three dots right here. You have to click those three dots, go into debug mode, and then you can change the terrain from being, you know, a new terrain that you can edit separately from the original terrain, which, thank you, Unity. Thank you for that. If only they told me. And then, yeah, you go on and you jump down again. I just really like jumping. It's very fun, very cool. I did some particle effects to like simulate some fog. And yeah, you fall through, and now you're in the Factory level. So, yeah. In this level, I added some conveyor belts. And then you can also see I have the pipes that you can jump on. There's like steam coming up from the floor that will launch you up. I just reuse the tractor beam script for that. And then, yeah, you can jump on the lights. And then, yeah, then for the final boss, which I haven't actually completed yet, I ran out of time, but he basically just blasts through he blasts through that door, and then he starts chasing you. It's pretty epic. Yeah. He has a big old laser. I was originally gonna do like, I made this one enemy and modeled it and rigged it, which is like adding digital bones to it so that you can animate it. And then I tried to animate it, and I realized animating is hard and it takes time, and I don't want to do it. So instead I settled for a sphere with like some thingies around it. and it has a laser. And that's really easy. You don't have to animate that. It just looks at the player and shoots a laser. And then I coded up like a jet to go on the player's hand, and then you can like fly with it. Yeah. And then you can fly into the third level. See, yeah, what's coming after you. Yeah, here's the third level. Here you go, yeah. And then here's some footage of me working on the chase script, which I'm not gonna lie. The code for this is kind of spaghetti. It's pretty bad, but I was really lazy with making it, and I didn't want to optimize it, so you get what you get. Yeah. And then googling stuff, some job. There you go. There's me modeling out. I'm modeling out a light for the third level. This is me like designing it. Thought it'd be cool to just have some lights overhanging, like looking really big. Then I'm making a road texture, kind of goes around. And then I'm not stealing someone else's road texture. That's actually a glitch. Yeah. I didn't give up on it. Actually, like a weird bug. And then yeah, I scrapped all that. Didn't record me making the third level, but here you go. You can see I modeled out and rigged a train to go along the tracks. Then I also made those billboards, and then my mentor, made the text on there in the background, and then they spin around. It's kind of like a neon city vibe, yeah. And then, yeah, here's some promotional images I made for it to go on the story page. My mentor made like the background for the text, and then I went into After Effects and messed around with it. And here's the most annoying bug of my life, right here. So I was running into a problem where if I built the game into like an APK and ran it on my headset, like without the computer, it just wouldn't detect, and I couldn't find why for like a week. And then I checked the class where you get the inputs, and I found out that it was reading from a file without checking if it exists. So then the file would exist on my computer, it wouldn't exist on the headset, so then it just throw an error, and it wouldn't get past that line. It wouldn't actually run any of the code that gets the inputs. So yeah, it was a really easy fix. I just check if it exists, then ignore it. If it doesn't, create it. Here's some footage of me working on the trailer for the game. I'm just editing it. I'm doing some sound design. Yeah. And then here I am working on the shop system. Do you remember when I mentioned that video that guy made of my game? Well, he played it in the way I did not want anyone to play it ever, and I realized the balancing system was like really flawed. Like it didn't encourage players to play the way that is fun. So I'm thinking, okay, might as well add a shop, and then you get points if you play the correct way. So yeah, here I am coding up the point system, which I eventually just deleted that script and started over because it was garbage. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, I'm making a ton of skins. Totally not using AI image generators to make the skins, by the way. I wouldn't do that. Yeah. I'm not lazy. I'm not editing this desperately trying to get it right. Yeah. Then I'm making the thumbnail for it. There's the shop. Then my mentor made some skins, which I, put in there. And then here's the story page I made for the side quest game. It's currently outdated because I made this like a couple months ago. But yeah, I made that really quick logo. And then yeah, you can see the 5-star reviews right there. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. And then I can't even remember what this is. What is this? Oh yeah, this is showing up the upstairs. You can see I got the. Oh wait, no, this is a video of some guy playing my game, and you can see yeah, he walks up to the place where he's supposed to start the game, and then he just leaves, and he keeps doing that like 5 times, which maybe I should make it a bit more clear that he's supposed to jump down. And then he actually starts playing the game, and you can see he's just like flailing his arms around. like the way the slicing system works is it's based off speed, how fast you move your controllers. It's not based off of just. And he's not using the slow motion at all, which, you know, that's like the funnest part of the game. So like, really not weird. Okay. Now, does anyone actually want to play the game?
Yeah. Desmond.
Okay.
Let's go.
Keep this pretty short.
Okay. Okay, let me get it set up.
He's been talking about it literally since we walked in here. There's a VR unlock. Yeah, you.
Hey guys, this is my presentation.
Yeah, it's your presentation.
I'm showing him how the game works.
He is, yeah. He really is. Pretty easy. Okay.
Are we
Have you used
what's happening on the headset?
Yeah, you're gonna be able to do it. Have you used Oculus headset before?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how to do it. Cool. Yeah, put this on.
I have.
Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just walk right. Yeah. Walk. Yeah, walk forward a bit. You're going out of the guardian. Okay.
So how do I use this?
Tell me if you see a loading screen.
I
Yeah.
will.
Okay, there you go. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, here's the tutorial. Oh, trigger. By the way, the game is getting debugged because I'm dumb and with the shop system, I didn't really set the default sword and the default skin in the tutorial. Press B again in the air. Yeah. Now slice the train in half. It doesn't matter that you don't have swords. They're invisible, but they still work. Okay, now press B. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can shoot it out. Look at the text.
Oh.
You know, of an extra blade. Pull out the sword that has the extra and shoot it. Press B. You slice it with the right side, so you're gonna have a blade on your right blade. Yeah. There.
High
There
five.
you go. Okay. There you go. You completed the tutorial.
I thank you.
Walk through. Okay.
We need another like 4 or 5 minutes.
Got it. Okay. Now walk through the door. Right there. No. It's right there. There. Okay. Okay. Now just jump down. Jump down. Yeah. Just jump. Just do it. Yeah, it's coming through the head. There you go.
I think I broke my legs.
You don't have legs.
Wait, how do I use the slow-mo?
Oh, it's this button, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's
What
this
button did you
button.
just point to? It?
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay.
Turn around. There you go. Okay, sorry. Come on.
Slice it.
Yeah, you can see it on
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait for him to come down.
I'm pressing B. Oh.
It's A. There you go. You need the slow motion. You gotta swing fast. Swing it like you mean it.
There you go.
Oh, I forgot I have to.
Slow motion.
Wait, what's
Okay, press A. Yeah, press the A button. Yeah, there you go. You can slice bullets and lasers. That unlimited slow motion. Come on. Slow motion is very helpful. Yeah, you did it. Okay, you've reached your first boss. It costs 75 ways. Look above you.
I can't hear anything.
Look above you. Yeah. You kind of shooting at you right now. You say fucking no. How do you spell? Explosive arrows. Go hit them. They launch you up. Yeah. Or you could shoot a blade at them. Either one.
Wait, how do I shoot the blade?
Look, see the crates? Crates. Get to the fighters. Continue on the sound.
Desmond, did you have a favorite part about the game?
Favorite part?
Like
I like
making
the
it?
second number one.
Yeah, let's just do a quick Q&A.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I started
Desmond, what do you play?
It's not on Apple. Yeah. Yes.
Do you die in the game? You never
Yes, you do die. You have 2,000 health, which seems like a lot, but the enemies attack you a lot. So, okay, yes,
Desmond, I have a question. Is this going to be on the Quest or just connected to like your...
it's gonna be on the Quest too. Yeah.
I'm going to start.
Let's go.
Yes.
Are you gonna try to like sell it?
Yeah, it's gonna be $10. Any more questions?
How long have you been coding?
Well, I started when I was 11 making like Roblox games. And I moved on to Unity like a year later. Yeah, I've been using Unity for like a year and a half now. Anything else? Yeah.
What was the most interesting thing you learned working on your project?
Probably making like blended models. I really enjoyed that. Yes.
What was the hardest part?
Hardest part. There were some bugs that like were just so annoying and so confusing. But I barely remember any of them. Like doing the train thing, that was really annoying because I was making like forum posts and they weren't getting answered. Yes.
What studio do you use to code?
Visual Studio. Yeah. Yeah.
How about that glitch when you were for that road texture? What happened there? How'd that glitch
Well,
happen?
You see, the thing is, the video corrupted, and it, yeah, kind of weird. Yes.
What is Unity? Is it like
Unity is a game engine. It's basically to help you design your game, so you don't have to create like a 3D rendering engine. You don't have to create code for executing it, and exporting it into a exe. It just makes things a lot easier. Like they have their own UI system.
Plus the marketplace, right?
Oh yeah, marketplace.
Where you can buy stuff.
What percentage of the time are you actually like coding versus like using the visual interface?
Well, the coding part is normally really easy. Like scripts don't take that long to code. The thing that takes a while is bug fixing. You have to debug it a lot. The visual thing is probably, I'd say I probably use that more because like making maps, that takes a lot of time. Like making models in Blender, and also just structuring things so that they work. Nevada? Yeah.
Nevada.
How long did it take?
Well, I think I worked on like the game for like average of like an hour each day. So I'd say like probably like 400 hours, something like that. Took a while. Yeah.
what bug took you the longest to fix?
Probably the sword crate one because I was just spending so long trying to get the text to work.
How long did it take you?
I don't know, probably like a couple hours. Yeah.
Do you have an idea what your next game is going to be?
Probably a school presentation simulator, and that is actually what I plan on it being. I'm planning on having it so that like you can spawn objects and it will be a multiplayer game. Yes. Ready? What, ready? Yeah.
Who is your mentor?
My mentor is Maxx.
Max is back there.
Thank you, Maxx.
How did you learn, was that C++? How did you learn
C Sharp. Yeah.
C Sharp? How did you learn that programming?
Well, I first got into like Lua, like Roblox programming, and then I just wanted to have more control over like making games. So then I just started with Unity because it seemed, I already had it installed because I messed with it a while earlier. And, you know, I just naturally, I liked it.
Did you use YouTube to learn how to like?
Yeah,
Do
a
you
ton
see
of
Sharpen?
YouTube tutorials. Yeah, Zion?
Is Unity free?
Unity is free, yeah. The annoying thing is they have a big watermark, like a splash screen at the beginning of every game, and unless you pay like $200 monthly or something crazy like that, you can't get rid of it. But other than that, it is free.
I think it was
Yeah.
215.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's called I Am Not Creative Enough for a Name.
I love it. I do, I love it.
Yeah.
Are we gonna be able to sample your game or try it out after this?
Probably not.
You got 57
I mean, I guess I might be able to do it.
I'll make it 50 subscribers.
There's 3
How much?
Yeah.
Are you planning to like release this game on like Apple stores or stuff? Or?
On the Quest 2 and Quest 1 store on App Lab. Yeah.
Cool.
Anything else? I want to give a big shout out to my mentor Maxx because she helped me so much along the way.
Good job.